All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to You Need Bodyweight Strength. I'm Skylar, and today is week 8 of 8. So we are going to put together all of the different exercise techniques that we've been working on over the past 8 weeks, and we are going to challenge you to work more in a circuit style to increase your stamina and really test your endurance here. So we'll start with a warm-up. Don't forget, if you haven't already, spend some time on your foam roller or lacrosse ball or tennis ball and just start to dig into that tissue if you need to. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started on the ground with our warm-up. So you only need an open floor space, hopefully something cushiony from when we're on the ground. And make sure you have your water with you. Other than that, we won't need any other equipment. And also, shoes are optional if you're feeling pretty stable and you want to work more of your intrinsic feet muscles. Sometimes I like to go barefoot. So that is what I'm going to do today. So let's go ahead and get started on your back. We're going to lay flat on your back. You're going to dig your heels down, and we're going to use this glute bridge exercise to help warm up your core and your glutes, especially if you've been sitting at a desk all day. It's time to start loosening up those hip flexors that might have gotten pretty tight. And I want you to really think about digging your heels down and squeezing your glutes. Remember, the warm-up is to help you mentally prepare and connect with your body. You've probably been running around all day with your mind distracted on work or kids or whatever else is going on in the world right now. So now this is your time. This is your 45 minutes to focus solely on yourself and on your body. The more you can get your mind connected to your muscles and to identify how you feel, what muscles you feel engaged, the better you'll be able to get at your technique and improving your overall strength with just using your body. So next, you're going to bring your knees up into this dead bug position. We're going to press the left hand and left knee into each other. The right side is going to inhale to lengthen and exhale to come back to center. And we're actually going to alternate with this one. So then you'll switch. Make sure you really lock in the right side and then inhale to lengthen, exhale to come back. Switch sides. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to come back and squeeze. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to come back. Make sure your back is pressing down into the ground, keeping your core nice and strong. We're starting to warm up here. And don't forget to add some tunes if you like to listen to music, or maybe you just need some quiet in the mind and focus on my coaching cues and technique. And we also have our playlist on Spotify. So if you're trying to look for some inspiration for this bodyweight strength circuit, maybe check that out and see if that helps to motivate you throughout this workout today. Keep one more on each side. Squeeze that left hand and knee together. Don't get lazy there. And then relax. You can hug your knees into your chest. Circle out your ankles, wiggle your toes, and just massage your back into the ground. If you have any back pain, you might just roll over onto your side and slowly push yourself back up. If you're feeling okay, then maybe we start to rock and roll a little bit, using your core to keep your posture strong, and see if you can dynamically rock back and roll forward to balance on your sit bone without touching your feet to the ground. We can try that one more time. See if you can balance, shoulders back, core strong. Maybe you release your hands, maybe you straighten your legs, and then slowly you can shake it out and relax. We're going to go ahead and flip over to all fours, hands and knees. We're going to inhale and look forward for cow. And exhale, round your spine for cat. Inhale, look forward, really pull those shoulders away from the ears. And exhale to round your spine into cat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, pull your belly button up as you round. And we'll just do one more of each as you start to loosen up your spine. One movement at a time. And then find that neutral spine right in the middle. Pull your belly button up. And we're going to try to crunch left shoulder to left hip and right shoulder to right hip. Think about lateral flexion here. See if you can turn your head and peek at your hip outside of your shoulder. So that's important because a lot of the times you think you're twisting to the right, but your hips are actually going in the opposite direction. So we're trying to close the gap between the ribs and the hip right here. Find that squeeze and then try to squeeze in the other direction. Increasing your mind-body connection by controlling the direction that your hips are going. Just one more on each side, kind of like you're wagging your tail. Have some fun with it as we start to loosen up. And then we're going to exhale back into child's pose and inhale forward. Right foot comes to the outside of your hands as you broaden your chest forward. Exhale back into child's pose. Inhale, left foot forward as you lift your chest up. Now there's a few variations here. As long as you're following your breath, you can stay with the movement, or you can increase by progressing with me. Always inhaling forward and exhaling to round back. So the next progression would be to keep the back knee off the ground as you lunge forward and then come all the way back to child's pose. Or you can keep the knees off the ground the whole time, so your child's pose is more like a hovering child's pose, just to add a little bit more heat and also a little bit more control in your core and your shoulders. So we're always exhaling back, whichever variation you choose. And then we're going to add a twist. The same side arm is twisting up so that your torso is twisting towards that front knee. Exhale back and inhale forward. And it doesn't have to be anything strict. You can find these movements to be a little bit more flowy, maybe reaching back behind you. Take a minute to circle out your wrists and just sort of be free with these movements as you start to get warmed up and get in tune with your body. We'll just do one more on the other side to keep ourselves even. Shake it out. And then we'll come to downward dog. So now we'll see if we can straighten the legs a little bit more, push the hips up towards the sky, and really try to anchor down through your heels. Bend one knee and then the other, shake it out again, and then come back to neutral and walk your hands back to your toes and slowly roll up to stand tall. Take a deep breath in and exhale, fold forward one more time out into high plank. Maybe you try scap push up, pinching your shoulder blades together. Exhale, downward dog. Walk your hands back and inhale to slowly rise up. Deep breath in and shake it all out. We're starting to get warmed up here. We're going to take a deep lunge and reach and then twist over that front knee. Alternating legs, big step up and over, lunge, reach, twist, and back. We're always reaching with the opposite hand. So when your left knee is taking a big step up and forward, your right arm is reaching and then twisting. Let's try one more each leg, and then it's time to start to get those feet moving. So I hope you're starting to feel warmed up, getting energized a little bit. We're going to practice a drop squat. So your feet are hip width apart. You're going to balance on your toes under control. See how high you can go. Maybe you can jump off the screen like me, and then quick drop down into a squat. Shake it out. We're going to try that one more time. Reach up, try to balance on your toes, and then quick drop down into a squat. You can keep with that one, or you can add in quick feet with me. As you inhale, rise up on your toes, quick squat, and then quick feet over to the side, quick, and shake it out. We'll go all the way back, and then it's time to get started with our first 60-second interval. Balance up on those toes, quick drop, and quick feet all the way over to the side, and shake it out. All right, let's go ahead and get a sip of water. Make sure we're nice and hydrated. And then we're starting with 60-second intervals. We have 5 exercises, and we're repeating them 3 times. First one is your squat jump. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. So we've been practicing the squat for 8 weeks now. If you're not quite jumping, you're looking for a more low impact movement, then just stay with that body weight squat. Remember, you're thinking about ripping your feet apart and squatting your hips as low as you feel confident and comfortable in your posture. If your hips start to round, then you're going too low for what you're capable of at the moment. Remember, you can always add a chair behind you. So you tap your hips on that chair and then squeeze your glutes up. And if you're thinking like maybe you're in the middle of the jump squat and the body weight squat, maybe you can try to balance up on your toes. So you're squatting down and practicing the lift off without actually leaving the ground. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Next exercise, we've been working on more of an offset stance. So we've been working on our split squat jumps. That's going to be the first variation. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. We have your split squat jumps, jumping high, switching your legs, landing in a nice lunge. Without the jump, turning into a lower impact move is going to be to step forward and back. And if you want to mix it up a little bit, you can always step back into a reverse lunge and forward. And then finally, if you're looking to work on your balance, stay on one side and just go up and down. And on the next set, try the other leg. So if you're trying this single side, make sure you start with the right. And for the next set, we'll go on to the left. Wherever you are, I know 60 seconds is going to seem like a long time because we've been working on technique and we're really just focusing on one movement for this round. But I want you to really try to push your stamina, push your endurance, and check your heart rate, see if we can get it off the charts. Let's go ahead and rest. Next exercise, we're going down onto our stomachs. We're going to work our back, which we've been using our handy dandy socks for. But today, you're going to lay down, squeeze your legs on the ground, reach your arms up. You're going to pull your elbows down like you're digging them into your back pockets, and then internally rotate your shoulder like you're trying to be handcuffed behind your back. And then come all the way up. You can rest in between, lift, pull your elbows into your back pockets, and then internally rotate to handcuff and release. So we're doing a pull, a rotation, and all the way back. Your lower body stays on the ground, and you're imagining like you're pulling a metal bar. So reach your arms up, grab that metal bar, and try to break it in half, and then internally rotate your shoulders. And then we're coming back down. We're almost there. Take this under control so you can really get maximum control of your back. Here we go. Last 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and stand up. We're slowing it down a little bit. We've been working on your RDL, but now we're going to throw you off balance. You're going to practice on your right leg for the single leg RDL. We're going to lean forward like you're kicking back through your heel, and then squeeze your glutes up. We're alternating, switching legs each time. You can also practice a split stance if you're not quite ready to lift off the ground. Slight bend in the knee, your hips go back and forward. Remember, it's like you're closing the door behind you. Switch legs if you're doing the split stance, hips go back, squeeze forward. And then maybe after a little bit of that, you build up that confidence to try your balance. You're thinking about kicking that heel straight behind you. Think about that dead bug position we did with the lengthening of that leg. You were kicking straight forward, and now you're kicking straight back. You should feel that stretch in the hamstring and squeeze the glutes on the way up. Stay focused with me. We only have one more exercise to go. And last leg, and shake it out. All right, we love these push-ups that we've been working on. If you've been using a staircase or a bench, make sure you track your progress, walking down the steps. If you started on the 5th step, I hope you're at least moving down to the 4th or the 3rd step by now. You can always come down to your knees as well. We're doing a spider push-up. So you can do a push-up, then bring your knee to the outside of your elbow, and then another push-up and switch. But if you're ready to really bring the heat, we're going to do both at the same time. So you're going to lower and crunch the knee in, and then push everything back to that high plank. Lower and crunch, push everything back up. You're thinking about that control and using your body weight to improve your strength. So even though this movement is not super fast, you're using your all-out strength and listening to your body to know what you need right now. You can always take each movement separately by doing a push-up and then crunching your knee to the outside of the elbow. Squeeze your core. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, there's only 15 seconds rest, and then we're on to round number 2. We're going back to those squat jumps. You know your body. Hopefully you're starting to get warmed up. You're ready to push it this time. Here we go. Let's drop it down and up. See if you can jump yourself off the screen with me. Squeeze your glutes. Remember your variation. So you're keeping your shoulders back. You're focusing on the technique that we've been working on. Try to land as soft and as quiet as you can. Squeeze your glutes up. Take the jump out if you need to. And think about trying to balance up on your toes, where you don't even have to leave the ground, but you're still practicing that movement of swinging your hips forward and lifting yourself up. Power. We have 15 seconds here. Here we go. Keep working with me. By now, you have your technique down and you're ready to push yourself. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Split squat jumps. You have your alternating lunges, or if you did the right leg last time, stay on the left. It's a great way to practice your balance as you stay working on that side. All right, let's go ahead and go. We have 60 seconds of your split squat jumps or forward lunges, or you can mix it up and go backwards. The main focus is making sure you're bending that back knee down towards the ground. So it's not just a step, but we're actually looking for that controlled range of motion, bending that back knee down. And then remember, if you're on that left side this time, try to come all the way up and bending that back knee down. All right, even if you're doing low impact, you can still get a great intensity here, improving your lower body strength, your balance, and even your coordination. So I like to do running arms when I'm doing the split squat because it's just like walking or running where you have your opposite arm forward. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. We're coming down to the ground. We're practicing your back pulls. So laying on your stomach, arms are going to come up. Squeeze those legs together. Squeeze your glutes. We're going to lift, dig your elbows back, handcuff your arms, and then come all the way back to center. Squeeze your elbows back, handcuff, and release. Like you're digging your elbows into your back pocket, all the way up. Notice where your hands are in relation to your shoulders. So if you're pulling and your elbows are going back, then you're not thinking about squeezing your shoulder blades down. So try to imagine those different movements. We have 20 seconds to go. Squeeze, try to break that metal bar as you work on that handcuff. Squeeze it back, rotate, and release back down. Squeeze and rotate, release back down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's come all the way up. Your variation, either the split stance or single leg. Let's try. You can always hold on to something stable if you need to. And see if you can just practice lifting off very slightly. Your goal is to try to get your torso to parallel. A straight line from your shoulder to your hip to your heel. And squeeze your glutes all the way back up. You can keep your arms straight by your side, like you're sucking your body in together, or you can bring your arms out if you feel like you need a little bit of help with that balance. Then just focus on hinging your hips back so that you feel that stretch in the back of that standing leg hamstring. Strong heel. Each time you're trying to stomp on the wall behind you and keep your hip bones facing the ground so we're not opening up the hip. Remember, one of the points that we've been focusing on is keeping those back toes pointing straight down to the ground. We're almost there. It's time for those push-ups. And 3, 2, 1. All right, let's make our way down to your wall, your staircase, wherever you're doing your push-ups. And we have your spider push-up variation. So we can go from the knees, from the toes, whichever variation you have. We're off to a strong start. So remember, you can do a push-up and a knee tuck singularly, or you're strong and maybe you do a high plank push-up, still one at a time, or maybe you do the full knee and push-up. So essentially, it's a single leg push-up. I want you to really push yourself while maintaining your form. So if you're not quite sure of this movement yet, it's best to separate them. So you can really focus on your push-up, and then you can focus on stabilizing as you do that spider crunch. Pulling that knee forward, crunching your oblique, and stabilizing as you hold yourself on the ground. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Let's get some water. The good news is we only have one more set there. Make sure you're staying hydrated. We're doing one more set. And then, of course, we have a fun circuit to end. We're doing Tabata today. All right, here we go. Last time with your squat jumps, you might be seeing a similar movement coming back when we get to our Tabata. But don't think about that right now. Just think about what you have left here. Strong glutes, strong legs, under control. Here we go. That's it. You can focus on jumping as high as you can, and then you can focus on jumping as fast as you can, and then maybe you focus on control and lower. Control and lower, balancing on your toes and squatting your hips back. Last time with your split squats coming up next. Here we go. Squeeze your glutes. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right, here we go. You choose if you have been focusing on one side. If you've been doing your split squats, you're alternating each time. I'll tell you halfway if you want to stay on the right side, and then you can switch halfway through the left. So remember, you can jump and switch, working on building that leg strength without any equipment. All you need is your body and a floor space and the motivation to hit play. And then just follow along and push yourself. Imagine I'm right there watching you, and you don't want to just stop and rest. You want to keep going. That's halfway. So if you were practicing your single leg split squat balance, then it's time to switch sides. We can also go into your stepping forward and back and your reverse lunge. And maybe you just mix it up. Make your body guess. Work on your coordination. Keep yourself moving. Whatever it is, I don't want you to stop. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take it down. Last time with these back pulls, remember you're holding on to that metal bar. All right, so let's try to grab it and squeeze. Try to handcuff. Release all the way back down. Lift, pull that metal bar apart. Rotate your elbow and release back down. Squeeze those elbows into your back pocket. Rotate and release. Big squeeze and rotate and release. Squeeze and rotate and lift back and release. Keep squeezing your glutes. We're halfway there. Think about your shoulder blades pulling back. You're releasing all the way back. Pull and rotate and all the way back up. Think about tucking your tailbone and trying to keep your core engaged. Even though you're laying on your stomach, you should still feel your core squeeze to support your back. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're coming all the way up. We have your single leg RDLs. If you haven't tried these yet, I want you to try them for this final round. So root down into that standing leg. Strong posture. You're going to kick back and squeeze up. Tuck that tailbone at the top. Heel kicks back and squeeze. Working on your balance, your hip hinge technique, focusing on your glutes and your hamstrings. And of course, your core is helping you to stay balanced here. Really grab the ground with that foot. Keep yourself balanced. We're almost there. That's halfway. Deep breath in and deep breath out. We have one more exercise after this. And then we have our Tabata finisher. It's only 5 minutes. So don't worry too much. Here we go. Kick your heel back and down. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, here we go. Let's find your push-up position. Let's come on down. This is your last round. See if you can really perfect each of these movements. You have your push-up, and then knee to elbow. Push-up, knee to elbow. If you're still working on that full push-up, maybe you come up to a plank, do a push-up, knee to elbow, and then maybe for that second one, you come down to your knees or a push-up, knee to elbow. So you can also alternate that way just to keep pushing yourself. Big push, engage your core. We're halfway through, and you can always alternate. Pull your belly button up and keep your core strong. Here we go. Last 15. Keep breathing. Dig deep for these last reps. Big push up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. Push your hips back into child's pose. You can shake it out a little bit. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out. Exhale it all out. And we're going to grab some water. We have a short rest here. While you're resting and getting your water, I'm going to show you the 5 Tabata exercises that we have. We do each exercise twice, 20 seconds each time. First is your squat jump, 90-degree turn. So just like we were doing, but we're turning and landing 90 degrees each time. You can always step out and just turn 90 degrees. Next, we have your scissor jumps. So we're going quick feet, forward and back, like your legs are scissors. We're chopping the floor up. Next, we're doing a quadruped kick with a pull. So we're on our hands and knees. You're going to lift your knees off the ground, kick your opposite leg through as you pull your shoulder back, and then back to all fours. You can practice this with me now if this is new to you. But from all fours, you lift your knees up, kick and pull. Then we have your hip hinge, swings. Imagine you have a kettlebell, and then a step out push up. So we're going to step one arm out and push up, and back, and then out and push up. All right, I think you're ready. Let's go ahead and get started with 90-degree squat jumps. Here we go. As soon as you get back to center, you're switching direction. Here we go. Step it out if you need to. Then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Short 10-second rest. We're going right back into that. I know it's moving fast, but I'll keep talking with you. You just keep yourself moving. All right, here we go. Last time. 90-degree squat jumps. Once you get back to center, switch direction. Try to land like you're drawing a square with your feet. Here we go. See if you can make it all the way back around. 3, and 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right. We're moving on to those scissor jumps. 20 seconds, 2 times through. And here we go. This is your quick footwork. You're moving your feet as fast as you can. Get that heart rate up. This is Tabata. High intensity work for that rest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, shake it out. One more time through that. See, we move through pretty quickly. Tabata is tough, but you get it done fast. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Same thing. Working on that quick footwork. How fast can you go? Each time, force yourself to move a little bit faster. Here we go. Quick feet, quick feet. Almost there. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Now we're doing that quadruped kick through. Not much rest, so let's get into that position. Hands and knees, tuck your toes, lift your knees, kick and pull. Back, kick and pull. Okay, so this first one might be focusing on how do you do this strange movement. And then the second one, you might be able to push it a little bit more. Here we go, last one. Now we rest. The main focus that I want you to focus is your hand on the ground is stabilizing and the hand is pulling back. All right, here we go. Let's try again. Kick and pull. Back to all fours. So we're focusing on core stabilizing. Here we go. Last time with this one. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. 2 more exercises, and then we're at the cool down. This is the RDL that we've been focusing on, but with a power. So I want you to interlock your fingers, create your own weight. Hips go back. You're going to swing it forward. Hips back, swing it forward. Good. We're focusing on power rather than that slow and controlled movement that you've been focusing on. You're imagining you're hiking a ball behind your feet. And rest. One more time through that. So you don't need an actual kettlebell. Now I want you to interlock your fingers in the opposite way, the awkward way of holding your hands. And let's get those hips moving. Hips back, power forward. And swing it, and swing it. How fast can you swing your glutes? Think about trying to pinch a dollar bill between your butt cheeks as you stand up. Squeeze your glutes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and relax. We have our step out push-ups. Then we are ready for the cool down. So let's get into that high plank. Left hand goes out and you do a push-up. Back to high plank. Right hand goes out. Push-up. Back to high plank. And we're alternating. Just working on reestablishing contact with your hand on the ground. Can you stabilize? Last one. And we have a very short rest. You can use child's pose here, but we're getting right back into it in 3, and 2, and 1. Here we go. Big push up and high plank. And push up and high plank. Here we go. Strong arms, strong core. Let's see how many push-ups you can get in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You can stand up and get your water, shake out your legs a little bit, and we're just going to slowly swing side to side, knocking on heaven's door, just letting your heart rate recover. If you do have your polar heart rate monitor, take a peek, see what you got up to, and let's watch it drop every minute, working on that recovery heart rate. So we're shaking it out a little bit, and then you're going to take a deep breath in, reach your arms up overhead, grab onto that left wrist, and stretch over to the side. And next inhale all the way up, grab onto your right wrist, and stretch it over to the side. And one more time on each side, deep breath in, and exhale to stretch it over to the side. Make sure you're evenly pressing your feet into the ground. Inhale and exhale. Deep side body stretch. And we'll take a deep breath in and exhale, fold forward, reaching for your toes. Grab onto the backs of your heels or your calves and really try to pull your chest a little bit deeper. Slow and controlled breathing. Maybe check your heart rate again. Make sure you see it dropping pretty nicely. And then plant your hands and step back into plank, into all fours. Don't worry, we're done with the plank for today. We're going to sweep the left arm out and up and exhale to reach all the way through as far as you can. And then try to get that shoulder down on the ground and see if you can push yourself over like you're feeling that stretch between your shoulder blades. Take a deep breath in here and exhale deeply. And on your next inhale, we'll slowly unravel. Inhale all the way up and come back down. Opposite arm, we're going to sweep. Inhale all the way up. And exhale to reach as far through as you can. Again, reaching the shoulder down to the ground. And then working on pushing your left hand to help flip yourself over. Finding that stretch between your shoulder blades. And once you're there, take a deep breath in. And exhale out. And on your next inhale, we'll very slowly unwind, sweep all the way up and back to all fours. We're going to step the right foot to the outside of the hand, similar to how we did in the warm-up. And I'll walk you through a few variations here, but just listen to your body and take the one that feels best to you. You can stay here. If you have blocks or pillows, or even if you can reach the ground, you'll try to come down to your elbows. Feeling that nice stretch. Think about squeezing this left glute muscle to help open up your hip flexor. You can also try bringing your right hand to your right thigh and pushing your thigh out as the sole of your foot lifts up, and you twist to look back behind you. And maybe from center, if your knee has enough cushion on the ground, you can try to hamstring curl your back leg. Maybe circle your ankles, circle your toes. And then if you can reach your left hand back and see if you can grab onto that ankle and maybe just pull it in towards the back of your hip, feeling that nice opening in the hip flexor and the quad. Again, listening to your body and just taking the variation that feels best to you. And then we'll slowly release, circle that leg all the way back, exhale back into child's pose. And inhale forward. Now we'll do the left leg, stepping forward, stretching your hips forward. And you'll take the variations that feel best. Again, squeezing your glute to help open up that hip flexor. And then maybe coming down to your elbows. If the ground is too far away, you can always prop those elbows up with some boxes or blocks or whatever you have laying around. And then you can always choose the twist option, pressing out against that thigh, letting the sole of your foot come up and maybe turning to look behind you, adding that little twist. And then maybe if you're in center, try that hamstring curl. If you feel like you can get that leg up, then maybe you take the same side arm. It takes a little bit of balance. Then see if you can just pull that foot into the back of your hip to get a nice quad and hamstring stretch. We'll do another standing quad stretch. So if this is not quite accessible to you right now, it's okay. Just keep stretching in this lunge. And then we'll slowly release and circle that leg all the way back forward. Push your hips back and down. Rest your forehead on the ground. Circle your arms and interlock your fingers behind your back. And then try to pull your arms up and over your head as you stretch out your chest and your shoulders. And then slowly release the arms. Bring your arms back overhead into extended child's pose. And then bend your elbows and bring your hands behind your neck. Maybe you can walk your elbows forward a little bit more and press your chest down towards your thighs a little bit more as you tuck your head between your arms and feel that nice stretch in your triceps, maybe around your armpit or even in your upper middle back. And slowly inhale to release your arms and come back to all fours. We're going to tuck the toes under, push the hips up into downward dog, and cross your right ankle behind your left as you pull that heel down to the ground. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. And from here, you can always challenge your balance by closing your eyes and seeing if you can just envision your movement without using your vision. So then we'll switch legs, opposite ankle crosses behind. Again, focusing on your breathing, taking away your eyesight if you feel comfortable, and just really making your mind focus on how the stretch feels. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. And then untuck your toes and start to walk your feet up to your hands. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, and maybe take some slight swings side to side, like you're painting your fingertips along the ground. And slowly come back to center, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, and drag your fingertips up the front of your legs as you roll your shoulders back and lift your head to stand up tall. We'll balance on the left leg. Take a deep breath in, reach back for your right toes. Maybe you can grab with both of your hands and think about pinching your elbows and your shoulders back behind you. Squeeze your glutes. And slowly release back down. Let's switch legs. Opposite leg is the standing leg. Take a deep breath in as you reach back. Grab onto that foot, shoulders back. Squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone. Find your focus as you breathe. I hope you're feeling really proud of yourself if you followed the full 8-week program. And I hope you've learned some technique or even improved some of your exercises. And don't forget to follow all of our other classes throughout the week so that you can have a well-rounded training schedule. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. It was great working on your body weight strength with you. And we hope to work with you again in the future. Awesome job. And we'll see you next time.